It is January 22nd, 2014 on a Wednesday, 12:37 a.m. Pacific Time, and this is Early Morning Pink. Thailand declares state of emergency in Bangkok. Decree gives security agencies the power to impose curfews, detain suspects without charge, and censor media. This is by Kate Hodo in Bangkok, and it's from theguardian.com. It's dated January 21st, 2014. And there's a huge crowd in this photo. Anti-government protesters in Bangkok on Tuesday. The photo is by Jack Kurtz of Zuma Press Corbis. Thailand has announced a 2-month state of emergency in Bangkok and neighboring provinces in response to protests that have seen 9 people killed and hundreds injured amid calls for the government to resign. They want their government to resign. Anti-government protesters have taken to the streets of the capital since November, cutting off water and power to ministers' homes, besieging government ministries, and forcing the beleaguered Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra to rule from offices north of the capital in their attempt to oust her from power. The cabinet decided to invoke the emergency decree to take care of the situation and to enforce the law, said Deputy Prime Minister Surapong Tovichailukul on Tuesday. Pardon me for that. The emergency decree, which will go into effect on Wednesday, is seen as an attempt by the government to instill some sense of law and order in the capital, where main intersections have for the past week been blockaded by protesters and their rally stages and encampments in what they call a Bangkok shutdown. Security forces will now be allowed to detain suspects without charge, impose a curfew, censor the media, close off parts of the capital, and prevent political groupings of 5 or more people. But it is unclear to what extent the decree will be used to break up the protest camps, with the minister in charge of the decree, Charlem Yambangrung, telling AFP there is as yet no policy to disperse the protesters and that security officials would not use force against them. One of the protesters' main leaders, Isara Shomchai, announced the protests would continue despite the decree as they were within the people's constitutional rights. Protest leader Supthep Thangsuban defiantly asked a crowd of supporters, is it right for them to use the emergency decree to declare a state of emergency to come and deal with us? Come and get us, is what they said. To date, Thai police have been largely absent from the 7 main protest sites in an effort to avoid confrontation with protesters who have themselves assumed some of the roles of the authorities, such as directing traffic and providing security around rally stages. The lack of law enforcement has allowed for an increasing sense of tension, with the protesters' attempts to shut down Bangkok over the past 8 days resulting in scattered violence, including recent gunfire and grenade attacks that saw around 70 people injured and 1 killed in incidents on Friday and Sunday, stoking fears of an impending military coup. All right, if you'd like to read more on this, what's going on in Bangkok, Thailand, I'm going to put a link at the bottom of the video for you. Thanks for watching. Please stay safe. Pink out.